Would you risk your life to expose a dangerous secret? Karen Silkwood did, and she never lived to tell the story. She was a whistleblower at a nuclear plant, gathering evidence of corporate corruption, safety violations, and possible radiation poisoning. But on the night she was set to reveal the truth, she died in a mysterious car crash. And the most chilling part? The key evidence disappeared. Was it an accident, or was she silenced before she could expose the truth? This case has everything. A corporate cover-up, a suspicious death, and a trail of evidence that suggests murder. But did Karen Silkwood solve her own murder before she died? Stay tuned, because this case is about to get very disturbing. Karen Silkwood wasn't a detective or a journalist. She was just a normal woman working a dangerous job. In the early 1970s, she was hired as a lab technician at the Kerr-McGee nuclear plant in Oklahoma. At first, it seemed like an ordinary job, but soon she noticed something horrifying: safety violations, toxic exposure, and workers falling mysteriously ill. She wasn't just dealing with radioactive materials, she was working in an environment where corporate greed was more important than human lives. So she did something that would put her life at risk. She became a whistleblower, but she had no idea that exposing the truth would lead to her own death. Karen started documenting the violations. She gathered proof showing that Kerr-McGee was falsifying safety reports and exposing workers to deadly levels of radiation. But then something terrifying happened. One day she was randomly tested for radiation exposure. Her body was contaminated with deadly plutonium. But here's the eerie part. She hadn't even been inside the high-risk areas of the plant that day. Then it got worse. Traces of plutonium were found all over her house, on her clothes, her bed, even on her toothbrush. This wasn't an accident. Someone was trying to poison her. She knew her life was in danger, so she rushed to expose the truth. She arranged a secret meeting with a journalist from the New York Times and a union representative. She had the documents, the final proof. On November 13, 1974, she left work, got into her car and started driving toward the meeting. She never made it. Karen Silkwood's car was found crashed on the side of the road. She was dead on impact. The official report? She fell asleep at the wheel, case closed. But there were too many red flags. There were no skid marks. She never hit the brakes. Her crash pattern was strange. Experts later said her car may have been forced off the road. The documents she was carrying gone. Even more disturbing, an autopsy revealed sedatives in her system. Was she drugged? Was she being followed that night? A witness later claimed they saw a second car tailing Silkwood before the crash. But police never investigated it further. If this was an accident, why did so much crucial evidence disappear? For years, investigators have debated two major theories. Theory number one, a tragic accident. Some believe Silkwood was overworked and exhausted. She may have taken sedatives herself and fallen asleep at the wheel. But this doesn't explain the missing documents, and it doesn't explain why so many whistleblowers in the nuclear industry have met suspicious deaths. Theory number two, a corporate-assisted murder. Others believe Silkwood was eliminated before she could expose Kerr-McGee. They point to the plutonium contamination, suggesting someone deliberately poisoned her, the suspicious car following her, the missing documents which could have exposed an industry-wide scandal. A private investigator later claimed that her car's damage suggested she had been rammed from behind. If true, that means this wasn't an accident. It was an assassination. Karen Silkwood's case changed history. Her death led to major investigations into the nuclear industry, and Kerr-McGee was eventually forced to pay damages to her family. But here's the terrifying part. No one was ever charged for her death. To this day, her murder, if it was one, remains unsolved. Did she die because of what she knew, or was she just a tragic victim of bad circumstances? One thing is certain, the truth died with Karen Silkwood. So now, I have to ask you, was Karen Silkwood's death just an accident, or was she silenced before she could expose the truth? Let me know your theories in the comments, and if you love real-life unsolved mysteries and true crime stories, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because I have many more chilling cases coming your way. Thanks for watching, and remember, the truth is always stranger than fiction.